Look around and you will see that scarcity is a fact of life. Every human being faces a world where personal wants exceed limited resources, whether that is the money in our bank accounts or the absolute limit of 24 hours in a day. Because of this strict limit, we make constant daily trade-offs. We choose whether to buy a car or save for a house, or whether we should work full-time instead of part-time to gain a few extra hours of leisure. But turn on the evening news, and the conversation immediately zooms out to massive, abstract concepts like gross domestic product, inflation rates, and the monetary policy of the Federal Reserve. To understand how those abstract forces connect directly to your own wallet, you have to look at economics through two distinct lenses: a magnifying glass for the individual and a telescope for the entire system. Economics provides a way of viewing how humans navigate a world of limited resources across two vastly different scales. The magnifying glass is microeconomics. This field examines the decisions made by individual agents, households, workers, and single businesses, all operating under strict budget constraints. At this micro level, we study consumer behavior. When a shopper stands at the grocery checkout line, they try to get the most out of their limited budget. They seek to maximize their personal satisfaction, or utility, while buying daily necessities. Shift that magnifying glass over to a single business, and the focus turns to survival. In a perfectly competitive market, a producer faces many competitors, selling highly similar goods, and must fight to stay profitable. Take agriculture. A single farmer cannot dictate the market price of corn. They must accept the going rate, analyze their costs, and carefully decide exactly how many workers to hire to harvest their crop without losing money. Microeconomics ultimately answers a highly localized question: how do individual people and firms survive, compete, and thrive on their own? Zoom out from that single farm to the entire nation, and you pick up the telescope. Macroeconomics looks at the aggregate sum of millions of those micro decisions happening all at once. This chart illustrates two macroeconomic goals. The horizontal axis measures real GDP, tracking economic growth. The vertical axis measures price level, monitoring inflation. Plotting aggregate demand against aggregate supply, their intersection determines macroeconomic equilibrium, revealing the overall health of the national system. When this massive system fails, the human cost is severe. This highlights the third macroeconomic goal: keeping unemployment low to prevent national crises. To manage the economy at this massive scale, governments use two main tools. A nation's legislative body relies on fiscal policy, adjusting taxes and government spending. Meanwhile, a central bank conducts monetary policy, altering interest rates and managing bank lending. These perspectives connect through a feedback loop. While a healthy macroeconomy encourages local firms to hire more workers, the macroeconomy's overall performance is ultimately built from the sum of those individual micro-decisions. Microeconomics examines the specific actors, while macroeconomics evaluates the structural integrity of the stage they are all standing on. This dual approach is necessary because of a phenomenon called a macroeconomic externality, a situation where perfectly sound individual logic breaks down when applied at a massive scale. Imagine you are sitting at a live concert. If you want a better view, standing up is a perfectly rational, intelligent macro-decision. But that action causes a chain reaction. Because everyone else wants a good view too. Every single person in the crowd makes that exact same rational decision, and soon the entire audience is on their feet. The result is that no one can see any better than they did when they were sitting down. A rational individual choice directly caused a collective failure. This paradox proves why economists cannot rely on just one field of study. What makes perfect sense at the micro level can be entirely self-defeating at the macro level. To accurately understand how our world operates, we have to use both the magnifying glass and the telescope. By studying the individual actors while monitoring the entire stage, we can successfully navigate a reality defined by scarcity.